What's up guys, welcome to another video. So this is obviously another football video, but before you watch this video, make sure you like the video, subscribe and comment down below who you think's going to win the Premier League. And yes, I've got glasses now. Don't have to wear them for this. I've been suggested that it might help. It's more long distance that I struggle with. Like for example, let's say if I sat in that bed right now and watching TV, I would struggle a bit to read some writing. But it's not terrible. It's not going to affect me really. But it also helps with headaches as well. But going into the video, make sure you subscribe as well before I get into it. But it's a bit late when I upload this, but I watched the Man United Leicester game. Well, Leicester were home, and to be fair, going into this game, as long as we didn't lose, I wasn't gutted. Because Leicester are very good this season. They're the kind of team where they can turn up. Like, they're not a team where you'd be like, oh yeah, easy game, easy. Like, not even going to be scared. No, I would actually be scared of them. But overall, we started off very well. Leicester seemed to have a bit more possession, which is exactly what we wanted. Because Leicester are a very counter-attacking team. They're not that great with the possession. They're more better when they've got less. So it meant we could counter them for once. Which is very nice. And I was like, okay, like, yeah, we could get something out this game. Like Marcus Rashford, in the first few minutes, he has a header where it's like, it's literally one-on-one. It was nearly an open goal. He should have scored it. Would have been it was an easy header to score as well. All we had to do was aim it down, it was in. That's it. And it's one fault I have about Rashford. He's not clinical enough at the moment. I think he's great at creating chances, but not clinical enough. And to be fair, our attack is normally very clinical. But there's chances where it's like, that should be a goal. That should be an easy goal. And that header should have been a goal. Like, this game was so infuriating because Rashford could have had 3 to 4 goals. We felt like we lost 2 points this game. I'm not saying Leicester were terrible because they weren't, but we did lose the 2 points. It was our game to lose. We went ahead both times when we scored. The game ended 2-2. Goals from Harvey Barnes. Well, first of all, it was Marcus Rashford, scored in the 23rd minute. Harvey Barnes in the 31st minute, which was a decent goal. Bruno Fernandes in the 79th minute, which was set up by Cavani, who just came off the bench. And then they went straight back up in the 85th minute, and Jamie Vardy has a shot and it goes in off Tunsabi's leg, basically. Nothing he could have done about it. There was something maybe Maguire should have done, but it wasn't the easiest thing. Like, Vardy's a pest in the box, like, he knows what he's doing. But yeah, overall, it was a very annoying game. Stats wise, very even. We had less possession, but then we had more shots on target. They had one more shot. We had a lot less. We had like 80 less touches and about 60 less passes. But it was a very even game, to be fair. Cavani looks very good when he comes on. I get why he didn't start because injury-wise he's struggling. he's not the guy that we're going to play every game. He will get injured because he's at that age now. But he's so good. Like, you can see he's a proper striker. And it's one thing I even said about Igalo a while ago to one of my friends. I said, Igalo, talent-wise, isn't as good as Martial as Rashford, but you can see he plays as a striker. He does movement that Martial and Rashford don't see. Even Igalo was doing it. Like, the strike, when you've played as a striker your whole life, you know what to do as a striker. Whereas Martial and Rashford, they've never played striker all the time. They're always pushed into other positions as well, so they don't know exactly what it is to be a striker. Not saying they can't do a job there, they can, but they're not that proper striker. But yeah, he came short for the Fernandez assist, and oh my god, what a play that was. Like, he goes in, cuts in, and sees Fernandez straight away, whereas I don't see a lot of players don't see that as a striker. But Cavani's, I always thought he was, and I was very concerned about the signing more because of injuries. But he's still a hell of a player. He won the cup game for us the other day, and he came on and straight away made a impact. It was an annoying game because we should have scored more. We also defensively were just all over the place, and my biggest problem with us defensively is we keep doing this thing where we let the ball run across the box. It doesn't seem like we want to get the ball out of the box. And this is a big problem. Like, I've seen so many times. I'm not just going to blame Maguire, because I think Maguire is a good centre-back, but this season he's just looking shaky. Last season he was actually very good for us, to be fair. We weren't that bad defensively last year. And last year, where most of the goals came from, watching as a fan, was through Lindelof. Lindelof on the floor is decent, but in the air he's very bad, and this is my biggest problem with Lindelof. In the air, he's not winning a lot. He's getting better at it, admittedly, but he's not winning enough. Like, there's balls where, as a centre-back, you should be winning pretty much, in 99% of the time, the ball. That's your job, to win that ball in the air when that cross comes in. And it's annoying when it doesn't happen. And we let the ball run across the box so much now. And it's like, I watched against the RB Leipzig game, Maguire just watches the ball go past him, and I'm like, what have you done? Like, that's literally going in the ideal place. Like, you should be blocking that ball or clearing it. Not all the time you've got a chance to clear it, and admittedly, yeah, the odd time it will go through because it's so quick. But it's all the time, and these ones aren't even right next to them. This is balls, they've come from the other side of the box and they're going past. It's crazy. And then I remember Shaw having one where he lets it cut across and then he quickly gets rid of it, and it was lucky because there was a player right on the other side of him and he just didn't get there. But defensively we have problems, you can see that. Even in a game where we didn't score every goal, we still scored 2. Attacking wise, we're decent, and I would say we're one of the most frightened teams to come against, because yeah, we could concede 2, straight away, but we could also come back 3-2. It like this is the reason I would back Ole, because his players are definitely playing for him, and I think the reason why defensively we play Maguire and Lindelof, and we don't give Tuanzebe a go and we don't give Bailey the go, is because Bailey and Tuanzebe have injury records. They get injured all the time, and I think they want to try and give them the odd game, but they don't want to get them injured, because if they get injured again, then they're out for ages. And the problem with, if you get one injury and then you get another one after, that can be a consistent injury they have through their career, and they want to try get rid of it in a way by slowly easing them into games. And Tuanzebe on his day is, I would say, probably our best centre back. And the reason why he's probably not in the team is because of injuries. Eric Bailey, very good centre back, and he looked very composed in this game, and even in the last game he played, he looked very composed. I admit he does have a mistake in him at the moment, but I think a lot of that does come down from him playing by, like, this game he had to play with Lindelof playing as a right back, and Lindelof was not a right back. I know Lindelof came off, and I think Tuanzebe came on at right back, but again, Tuanzebe's not even a right back. You can do a job there, but like against a good Leicester side, you want an actual right back to be there, and this is why I questioned why Brandon Williams ain't playing. He might be injured, I don't know. Let's have a look, see if he was actually on the bench for us, because that's one thing I would definitely question. No, he wasn't on the bench, so maybe he's injured, or maybe they just didn't feel like it was right for him to play in this game. But yeah, it's very like it's questionable if he's not injured and why he's not playing, because he should be, but right back we could do with another one really. Personally, I think I like Williams. I think he's a very good player. Like, last season when he played, I actually was very impressed with him. I thought he was gonna maybe take Luke Shaw out of this team. I'm not saying that I don't like Luke Shaw, but Williams had a reason to be in this team as well. But yeah, just defensively we're not good enough. There's a reason why we play McTominay and Fred normally in front, and that's because of our defence. Our right backs and left backs get a lot more criticism than they deserve because our centre backs are playing that bad, and I think Ole really wants a centre back. I think the reason why he's not trusting Tuanzebe and Bailey is because of injuries, and he doesn't want them being injured again. Like, I know sometimes, yeah, you should just push them in, but they've been injured that much. I think they're all a bit worried about pushing them into the team, and I think they'll give them the odd game, and maybe that will sort their injury problem. Because Bailey or Tuanzebe next to Maguire is actually a very impressive combo. Like, Maguire has this ability to win nearly every aerial chance, and that's ability a lot of centre backs can't do this day. He's one of the best in the air. It's more on the floor that it matters, and like this season, yeah, he's not been good enough, and we'll all admit that as United fans, but there's still, like, I'm going back to last season and I was like, this guy is actually, like, he's been pretty good. He gets done the odd time, admittedly, but then every centre back does. There's times where Van Dijk gets done, and Van Dijk's the best centre back in the world. There was times when Rio and Vidic got done, and that's one of the best partnerships in world football ever. Like, I'm not saying he's on the level of Van Dijk, but he's a decent centre back, and he has done a decent job. This season he's gave away a lot of mistakes, and I think that's down to the Lindelof-Maguire partnering. Like, it's not good because neither of them are really quick, and they both offer a similar play style. Like, not gonna lie, I wouldn't even mind seeing a Rojo next to Maguire. I actually quite like Rojo. He was a bit stupid the odd time, like when he went in with like big challenges that were like his foot was high, but he was a solid centre back, to be fair. Like, the only time where he was I would say he was absolutely terrible is when we played him left back. Why the hell we ever played him left back? He just was awful. For Argentina it was decent, but for us he was awful as a left back. I remember him playing, I'm like, oh my god, this guy is a donkey. Like, he's terrible. But yeah, I would like to see him. But the Leicester United game, whilst I was gutted getting 1 point out of that game, I've just seen the rest of the results for this weekend, and Liverpool dropped points to West Brom 1-1. Spurs dropped points to Wolves 1-1. Arsenal beat Chelsea 3-1, so Chelsea dropped points. The only teams that are close to us that didn't drop points were City, Everton, and I think City are going to lose a lot more points. I don't see them being consistent enough this season. Southampton dropped points against Fulham, but then I don't see Southampton being in the top 4 fight at the end. They're a good team and I like what they're doing, but they don't have the talent the top teams do, in my opinion. And yeah, it's just like every team dropped. It's such a good season, but also a frustrating season, because I'm thinking back to games that we've thrown away. If we didn't throw those games away, we would be top. Like, and they were stupid games to throw. Arsenal, we should have won that game. We were just very bad that day. But then there's games that Liverpool should have won. Liverpool should have never lost 7-2 against Villa. Admittedly, this Villa side's very good, but they shouldn't have lost 7-2 against them. We shouldn't have lost 6-1 against Spurs. I mean, maybe we would have lost the game, but we shouldn't have lost 6-1. But yeah, overall, very weird season, but a very exciting season. And I can't wait to see where the season's going. We're in a promising position because we've got a game in hand. And if we win that, we go 2 points behind Liverpool, who are in first. And the only other team that have got a game in hand is Man City, and they're on a point lower than us with a game in hand. Saying that though, Villa have 2 games in hand and they are on 25 points. If they win their 2 games, they go 1 point behind Liverpool, who are in first place. Could you imagine the scenes if Villa end up taking over Liverpool? Like, not gonna lie, this Villa team have something in them. And I said a while ago, I think they're going to be the shock team of the season. They've thrown some games, but every team's thrown some games. I don't see Chelsea doing that great, not gonna lie. They have a good team, but I don't think they're playing right. Werner's playing out on the wing, and admittedly he's missing so many chances he shouldn't be. That's not good enough. And Havertz, he might not be right for the Prem, but he's also not playing in the position he wants to be playing in. He wants to be playing in either a centre forward or a cam role, because he has a bit more free roam there. And maybe he can come good, I think he will, but right now he's not. And it's just a weird season. I think COVID's definitely not helped, and like pre-season wasn't the same for us. I think that's why we started so poorly, because you don't realise how important a pre-season can actually be, because that's where you train and get your team into shape to remind you how to play. Like, they take a bit of a break, and if you don't play consistently, yeah, you're not going to be as good. It's hard to go back into football when you've not played for a while. Like, even the level I play, if I've not played for a while, I'm like, Jesus Christ, how have I passed the ball like that? What's that shot? Like, it is awful. But yeah, I think this season is going to be the most exciting season for a long time. It's just the fact that everyone's challenging. Like, not gonna lie, Southampton are only they are in 9th place at the moment, and they are 7 points behind Liverpool, who are in first. That's what kind of season it is. And even the relegation battle, I think, will be interesting, because Fulham are on 11 points, West Brom on 8 points, Burnley are on 13, so are Brighton. But then, like, all those teams, if they hit a bit of form, they could overtake Arsenal as well. And I don't see Arsenal getting relegated, but it's not impossible. That's what kind of season it is. So anyway, I've gone on enough now. But let me know what you think of these videos. I love doing reviews after I've watched the game. And who knows, maybe soon I will do predictions for the upcoming games. Won't do it for the games coming, because when you're watching this, tomorrow is when the next games are coming. And yeah, so I would do a prediction video tonight that will go out in the morning. There's no point in me doing it. I'll do one after I've watched the United game, and I'll do one for the games coming up after this game week. But anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.